So, what's your name?
My name is Leigh Steinberg,
Great. And what year are you?
2018,
And where are you from?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Um, and where's your family from?
My mom's side of the family is from Philadelphia, and my dad is from Baltimore.
And are you a student at Dartmouth?
Yes.
And are there any significant historical events that have influenced your family?
I don't think so. My grandfather was in D-Day, but other than that, not really.
Great. And can you briefly tell us about your camp experience that you heard the story at?
Yeah, so
Where was it? Exactly.
I went to an overnight camp called Camp Walden. It was all girls. It was in Maine for 7 summers from when I was 9 years old to when I was 15, 2005 to 2011. And this was a story that they told us, scary story to make sure we didn't go out into the lake late at night.
And how often do they tell you guys this story?
The first time I heard it was it probably came up about once a year, I would say. It wasn't like a formal telling of it, but it would come up in like shows that the counselors put on, or if the older bunks were trying to tell us not to do something or it was scary. I bet I heard it about once a year. Yeah.
And who told the story?
The older bunks told the story as well as the alumni counselors. So it was a mix of just like a lot of the older campers and then the people that had been at camp for a while.
And what was the setting you heard the story in?
The first time I heard this story was when I was sleeping at a lean-to on our lake as the youngest camper, and then the time that everyone really remembers it was in this show that the counselors put on at the end of the year that makes fun of all the campers, but they brought up this scary story to, I don't really know why. And then the rest of the time we heard it just like as folklore, passing it down.
And do you know where the story originated?
I don't, actually. I don't think anyone knows.
So has the story been passed down, or was it made up on the spot?
I think it was passed down. Yeah. My mom went to the camp, and I don't know, I haven't asked her if she knows it, so it probably originated maybe in the 80s or 90s. She was there in the 70s. So.
Do you think you will tell the story to others one day, or have you told the story to others one day?
Yeah, I have told the story as an older camper, and then maybe if I go back as a counselor or to my kids when they go.
And so can you briefly tell us about the campfire story?
So I guess the story is that a long time ago there was another camp on the other side of our lake, and at one point there was a girl from our camp who tried to canoe over there in the middle of the night, and her name was Annie, and she never came back, and they found her canoe later that, I guess, in the morning. And then eventually that other camp got shut down, and now it's abandoned, and so we're really not allowed to go over there. And then there's this big rock in the middle of our lake, and there's a story that she kind of haunts that rock in the middle of the lake. And so I remember there was the oldest bunk, my first summer, had to canoe out there in the middle of the night, and then one counselor was dressed up as this ghost Annie on the rock when they got there. So it was kind of reenacting the story.